Hey everyone, and welcome to Comic Breakdown, and I hope you guys are as thrilled as I am to be diving into week 3 of Future State. Now, one thing I noticed that's really missing from these stories is a freaking timeline at the beginning of the issues. While yes, I know they've posted it online, it would be really nice in the beginning of each issue if they let us know exactly what time era this is taking place. So in the beginning of each video, we're going to start doing that. We're going to let you guys know exactly where this is taking place in the timeline. That way we can do away with a little bit of this confusion. And so for this video, we're going to be getting into Immortal Wonder Woman issue number 1. And this will be taking place at the end of time. Now be sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel and hit that notification bell because I drop videos in the morning and in the evening just because the future state is so vast. We have to break it up throughout the day. And with that being said, let's dive into this issue. And so this issue begins us following Wonder Woman descending in what appears to be the Batcave, but a Batcave that's long been abandoned. And Diana has long avoided coming here because of the ghost she knew that she would run into. And this is where we see her have a conversation with what seems to be a ghost or spirit, Bruce Wayne, aka Batman. And he lets her know that he doesn't have any regrets. Everything ended exactly how it should have. And Bruce, he never saw himself as a player in comparison to like Wonder Woman, but he was more of a structural component to build the outcome of what it would eventually be. And at this point, Wonder Woman is really struggling to find some kind of hope. Something worth fighting for. And this is where Batman tells her, even if there's a single drop of goodness left, it's worth fighting for. And that Diana Prince, Wonder Woman, has always been the heart of them. And that's what made her so wonderful. And with this conversation coming to an end, we see Wonder Woman grab Batman's utility belt and take off, because she's preparing for what's to come. And as she looks to the stars, she awaits the arrival. And this is when we pick up in Apocalypse. And Darkseid is sitting here watching as Apocalypse is literally getting devoured and taken over by this world eater. But Apocalypse wants to do nothing, because as he says, Apocalypse was never meant to last forever. The name was not simply a euphemism. And so Darkseid leaves. He leaves Apocalypse for everybody to have and meet their own fate. And as he flies away, he says that this is the anti-life equation. The undoing of reality itself has begun. And then we cut over to Themyscira, and Wonder Woman is talking to a very old friend, Swamp Thing. The last connection to the Green, Themyscira being the last safe haven of the Green. And Wonder Woman wants to get Swamp Thing out of here, wants to get the Green to a new planet where it can grow and flourish and be able to be what it once was before the age of man and before the destruction of the earth. And then we see Darkseid flying through space, and Darkseid is thinking about Earth and how he thought he would never return to that place. And it's been such a long time, he wonders who would even still be alive to oppose him. And thinking of all this makes him feel like a young god again, and that perhaps maybe Earth is ready for his rule after all. Now Wonder Woman has come up to the rest of the Amazons that are left standing. The Council of War has been had, and Themyscira has decided that they're going to fight whatever's coming. And this is against Wonder Woman's wishes, because she wants to leave. She wants to take the Green and get out of here. But they refuse, and they are all ready to fight. And as reality is slowly undoing itself, as we see these monsters, these world eaters destroying world after world, we see Darkseid still continuing to blast through space. And then when he sees on the horizon a red cape and a blue suit with gray hair. And then we see a fireball blazing across Themyscira. Wonder Woman not gonna let her sisters fight alone. They band together and they prepare for battle. And this is when Wonder Woman arrives at the site of the impact. And this is where she sees Old Man Superman laying on the ground as Darkseid stands over his body. And as Darkseid goes to deal a deathly blow to Superman, the lasso grabs around his fist. and Wonder Woman takes over. But her efforts are relatively futile as he gives one punch to her and she goes flying into Swamp Thing. And the rest of the Amazons try to make a fight, but he uses the Omega Beams and they're all dead instantaneously. And so we have Superman on the ground. We have Wonder Woman knocked for a loop, and Swamp Thing gives his life to Wonder Woman to give her the ability to fight on, to continue on. And in the background, we see Darkseid holding Clark Kent by the throat. Now that will be it for that part. This is where we pick up with part 2, if you will, the issue with inside the issue, the Wonder Woman known as Nubia. And this transports us to Atlanta, to a museum that's getting robbed by a thief named Grail. And as Grail goes to execute the security guard after getting the prize, we see the arrival of Wonder Woman, and she stops the execution, and these two start duking it out. And Nubia is here to stop her from stealing, to return whatever she took. And I should have stated before, but this Nubia Wonder Woman storyline takes place in 2030. And at this point, Themyscira had called back all the Amazons to let man deal with things on their own. But Wonder Woman, aka Nubia, decided to stay behind and fight whatever forces thought they would take advantage of the situation, one of them being Grail. And so for all intents and purposes, Nubia is Wonder Woman. And as these two duel it out, the artifact that was stolen falls out of Grail's pocket. And Nubia goes to pick it up, and this is when she sees like a vision of a horrible battle, of a magical ritual happening. And as there's a yellow glow around her while this is happening, Grail goes to make an attack, but whatever is protecting her, whatever surrounding her is protecting her. And so Grail grabs the artifact and gets out of there and promises to kill Nubia on another day. Now Wonder Woman, not knowing exactly what just happened, she goes to see an old friend at the Ebony Web. She goes to see her Aunt Nancy. And after some small talk and discussion here, Aunt Nancy lets us know exactly what her vision was, what that was. And she lets us know that a long time ago, before humanity had begun to believe that they held any kind of monopoly on conflict and destruction, gods warred with one another for various reasons. Some wanted to stop the fighting. In the hopes of making cooler heads prevail, they created an artifact that they call the Master Key. And the thought of it behind it was supposed to change a person's mind to make them a more peaceful individual and not so hostile and angry. But with such power, it also has other side effects that it can do, such as like opening mystic doors, magic vessels, hidden portals, interdimensional gateways between planes of existence. It's pretty much capable of ripping a hole in time and space. And understanding that this is just too much power for any one individual to wield, they broke the artifact up and they sent it and scattered it across the world. But now it seems somebody is trying to reunite it. And it was broken into 9 pieces, and 8 of them have been stolen, which means there is only 1 left. And then in the middle of their conversation, a portal opens up, and we see Nubia sucked through whatever this was. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think. We got an introduction to Nubia in this future state world. We got an introduction to Immortal Wonder Woman, who is living at the end of time. And so it's looking like at the end of time, humanity just doesn't exist anymore. And what's remaining is Themyscira, Swamp Thing, and Darkseid. These are the individuals that live to the end of time. And I think that's a fair assessment. Oh, Superman as well. But I think all those are a fair assessment. Those are individuals that definitely could last to the end of time. And if any of the heroes are going to survive to live through and tell the tales of their failures or their successes, it's going to be Wonder Woman. At least right now in the current DC state, they've really been pushing Wonder Woman to the front line, which I'm completely okay with. I'm a huge Wonder Woman fan. I really love all the stuff that they have in the comics. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the movies. I prefer the comics much, much more, but that's just me. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. How did you guys like this? How do you like Nubia? What do you think of her as holding the mantle of Wonder Woman? What do you guys think of Immortal Wonder Woman? If you guys haven't checked it out already, I have a Patreon set up. I had some fans asking for it, so I went ahead and set it up. If you guys want to support the channel, you can do it that way. You can check out my podcast. All these links are in the description. At the end of the day, if you don't want to do any of that, do me a favor, just hit that sub button, like the video to support the channel, and until the next issue.